As this knife round does conclude, we are going to be heading into this matchup.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, to be honest. I remember that actually being quite a big statistic when we actually did go through the online season. Every game essentially was that 8-7.
Yeah, it was like 8-7, always favouring a T-side. Or
the T-side team would be the second half of the T-side was always with the team that closed it out as well. It was very odd. So
something about that logic.
Well, FM win.
Yeah.
Right
well, here we go though. The final matchup of our grand finale, UK Masters Spring 2017. FM on that CT side, Radix over on that T side, and they start things off strong and quick. So fast, right up through Banana. Is where we're going to be there to hold off that angle. Got himself that trusty P2000, of course, looking for that first headshot. But Radix instantly vetoing the idea of continuing that charge forward. They get no response. They start to feel uneasy. And off the back of that, they wrap right back around, right up towards mid. They set themselves up for a stallion charge up on towards the A-side, split in through short. But a hell of a load of fights to take, and one hell of a setup coming in from FM. Stanley to find the first. Fry decimating headshot for him as well. Make that a second. Why not even a third? Go for it as he takes down Roma. Pulse as well will punish Smooya. FM eSports, a decimating pistol. The perfect start as Radix.
Very, very crisp there. Absolutely crazy.
It's just Fry was just able to pick them apart.
Yeah, he did all the work. All of that round relied on him being able to get that free K. I mean, at that point as well, he shouldn't have even got that third frag. Just pushed into it, was able to overpower them. Absolutely massive stuff coming out. Now, though, for Radix, they need to try and do something here onto these rounds. Even though you are on the eco, and normally you are sort of basically giving it away for free, Inferno is one of the maps where you can be a little bit more aggressive and sometimes pull stuff out the back. They take no damage from the nades as well.
That's crazy. Really so painful. Smooya and Keita, the last two left standing. But they can get something out of this. They get a bomb plant. Keita as well with a frag on towards Nilzinho. The smoke acts as the perfect shroud. I hate to say it, but this is winnable.
It's true, this is an interesting situation to be in. I mean, the thing is with Weber as well, he's trying to do some work on his own right now, but he has to wait until Fry is at least close enough to aid him when they go for this push in towards the bomb site. They are going to face their way round. They have so many maids to play with here. Use those HEs, use those Molotovs. Weber as well, find a frag on towards Smooya, why don't you? Takes him down, it's just Keita left. Smoke it off, just tap on the bomb, and then Fry should just be able to get the kill.
That works just as much. Throw down a Molotov, force him in a long fight with Fry. Instead, you opt to face him. This is crazily risky, Weber. You need to get yourself on that bomb real quick, but now there's no Molotov there to save you. 2 seconds, 1 second. They gave that to Keita. They let him take these fights. They let him control the situation. And Radix will get a pistol round win off the back of that, because that's what that is, a pistol round intensively for them. They go 1 for 1, and FM, they're sat there with these SMGs going, what on earth just went wrong?
The thing is, that's genuinely worse than actually losing the opening pistol round on CT half.
It always is. The economy is just wrecked.
The amount of damage that has now done to their economy is horrific. It's going to take so long before they actually get out of this slump.
It also forces them into this kind of tug-of-war style matchup again, where they have to force up, which means that we could be going 1 for 1 for the next 2 rounds, really, here. That's usually what we see. That or Radix just stretch it out, and they decide to just continue to apply pressure, find the weak points of FM, and start off strong on their T side. It's still all kind of very in the norm right now. This isn't something that we would consider exceptional or anything really too crazy.
Yeah. Stanley, early on into this round, they're trying to do some damage over towards Banana. He's firing a couple of pot shots down, waiting for the push to come through, but Radix playing it so smart. This is the thing, right? You get that range advantage. You know your opponent's on a weird buy. You probably expect him to just go for a fast eco, like a rage push, something like that. Just nade down mid, nade down Banana, possibly sit towards top Banana, peek late into the round. You can find those frags so easily if they push into you. But they do have to make their call soon. They're going to push towards Arch side. Weber is waiting, ready for them to walk into him. Pulse as well, spotting ever so slightly, ready for this crossfire.
Cole's going to be there to try and make it work with this pistol, but Roma is unfortunately just going to take him down with a close range taking on the Azilio, trying so much with this CZ. But again, the same old scenario, rinse and repeat, throw it in the wash. As Stanley, the last man standing with a UMP. Keita going to take him down.
So the buys coming into effect there as well, obviously. AKs, they do have to rebuy actually quite a lot, but nevertheless, it's still going to be fairly effective as they work their way back through. FM can't do anything to this round as well, so that is going to be all 3 claimed by Radix, as you would expect.
2 to 1 up. Pretty much scrap that 3 to 1 up, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Really is a fateful point when you look at the FM side right now. They're going to have to kind of forget about this next round, really, and just focus on the future. Almost use this as an opportunity to sit and talk. One of the conversations I had with Neil was he said, one of the reasons we don't always call pauses is because we use these pistols to just kind of sit around for a second, have a bit of a chit-chat. And why not, really? They know that value out of this round is pretty much nigh on impossible. Sure, you can argue they're looking for a rifle or something like that, but on paper, it's probably much more valuable for them just to try and relax for a second.
Yeah, you can just play it slow, just talk about things throughout this. I mean, FM are actually one of the teams that do that an awful lot. As you said, I've seen them do it so much, especially on Overpass. They just sit themselves around to T-spawn, they just try and lock it down and work out what they actually want to do.
It does work, though.
Yeah.
Like, 9 times out of 10, it actually works out for them. So let's see in the future how that buy is going to go. For now, of course, these pistols, it's standard, really. It is just them, unfortunately, falling short. A few taps here and there. None the wiser. Zero difference. There's just going to be a few picks of Radix already to start off this show. And they're taking a fair bit of damage, which is something you could look towards at least as a bit of a reward, but doesn't change anything.
Yeah, not really going to affect too much. Fry as well does spawn out Mole, tries to tag him down, but unfortunately MP7 does reign supreme. Weber also going to fall there. And finally, Radix have claimed all of those rounds as we expect. This is where the real deal has to start, though. And the only thing is, because of how bad their economy is still, they're not going to have much utility into this round, which is going to hinder them. And also, no possibility of an AWP coming out.
Still, plenty of rifles. And that's going to be something they will well and truly be happy to be able to play with right now as they go into this 5th round. All important. They want to get themselves off on the right foot. They're the sort of team, I think, who really do find themselves much more favoured when they are the ones in control, where they're the ones in the lead who then have a team have that sudden resurgence, then they have to respond, sort of thing. That style of matchup. But I feel like FM don't necessarily always hold the edge when they're the ones trying to make that resurgence happen. Then on a comeback, much different story. So very, very risky stuff, but it's going to be important they try and make this one work. Romer, of course, just kind of wanting to greet them with this MAC-10. If he can worm himself into a close angle that he's currently standing in, but take that one step further and actually get a pick, it really is huge for Radix. So 2 very different storylines, but both have to mesh together. As this round has got to unfold. 1 minute 5 on the clock coming up. Smoke going to go down just to add a bit of a pathing over towards this B site, and all it really does is distract the lurker right now, as the main sets up the core of this T side. A rule in mid, all ready to tiptoe around on towards short. And Zenio still got that smoke there.
They are going to back off, make their play towards that B bomb site though, try and slip in, hope they can do some damage. I mean, Stanley and Pulse waiting with this crossfire setup. Can they actually find the frags as the push does start to unfold? Molotov goes over, won't force Stanley out of position though. He's allowed to hammer down the trigger, but unfortunately can't quite do too much. Everyone is starting to fall.
Mole looking for more now, gets himself backstabbed by Weber. Bringing it back to a 3 versus 3. Weber still in CT, bear in mind, of course. Always going to be a tough fight for him to take. All of these players, in fact, now just stuck from this one avenue of attack where there currently is a smoke sitting perfectly there. Smooya just there, just doing so much. Gets himself a double kill. Weber will find just a 1, but he's just that, a 1-man in a 2-man scenario coming right up against him. Jenko and Rober playing this one pitch perfectly. 1 player in dark, 1 right over around those boxes. They start to push on forward. Jenko got to try and escape, but there is just no time left on the clock. Leave 1 man to seal the deal, another to run away with a rifle, save what you've got. As at the end of the day, you can go down with the ship, but it's still around for Radix to play with. Another for them, 1-4, and FM's economy finds itself gutted.
Absolutely broken. Horrible. They've been in such a state of economic peril this entire time. Essentially off the back of that first pistol round. And it's not too bad as well, because I mean that's the only bad round they've had over on that T half, losing 4 members. The rest of it has been good. It's just such a struggle because FM as well, they're going to have enough to play into this one. Radix get 5 rounds on the board already on their T half before FM can even attempt to retaliate, and they're still not going to have the best economy.
Molotovs to be expanded up towards the tip of Banana. Stanley playing so close towards this wall. If they push any further, he will lip wreck around and find himself some frags. He finds 1, goes for the second, but runs out of shop, jumps around, goes for the repeat, and he finds it. Stanley, a double kill for him at a huge impact as Radix had a 2-man disadvantage. Sure, no rifles to be gained, but the fact they can be is a huge win-win for this CT side. A man advantage, even twosome. Always going to be positive. Radix trying to bring that back. Of course, Smooya worms himself in towards this corner, gets himself ready to fight up against Weber. What a shot with the pistol, though. Just another in response. Smooya crushed by the Deagle.
This is crazy. Even though they should have lost this round, somehow they're picking it up. They have So much still to play with as well as they go for this push towards the B-bomb site. The CTs are ready for this. They're in a pincer formation. They can strike when they need to, peek at the same time, and just take down the opposition, the teams that have slipped their way through. Pulse has the drop on Roma, struggles to actually control his recoil there, but should do some damage. Headshot goes through back on towards Keita. It's just Roma left standing, trying to ward them off, and Roma will finish him.
Weber with the Deagle starting to let rip yet again. Roma just 1 HP. Fry is going to add the cherry on top with the CZ, gifting around to FM eSports as they decide to double down, go from 1 up to 2. And it's going to be so important for them as they go into the 7th with everything they need to really try and hammer away now, look for their 3rd. An AWP into the palms of Weber, rifles amongst every other player. Plenty of utility, bear in mind too. Radix, though, will want that reset. They will want to harm them back down to right from where they began.
They need to try and do something. They need to make a decision quickly and strike upon it. Try and keep this level of aggression up. I mean, Weber on the AWP here could be so critical as well. Nice flashbang usage to allow his 2 teammates to peek, but the only thing is, Jenko finds the opening frag. Headshot galore takes down Stanley. Pulse is going to try and retaliate as well, though, as he is in a prime time position to actually go for a late round backstab, but Weber at this point needs to rotate, as it seems like it will be the A hit.
Grouped up towards mid, it's going to be one hell of a cluster attack coming in towards short. Brian going to find himself just very much tested in this hold. Smooya, though, just a shot right through the pillar. Nilzinho trying to fill the shoes, gets himself a double kill going for the triple, but Mole right in from behind with the rifle will shut that push down yet again. A 3-for-2 scenario. Jenko pushing it even further as he takes down Weber, leaving it all on Pulse. 1 man, 1 rifle. Has himself a kit, has himself that Kevlar, most importantly, of course, fairly standard stuff. But there's one missing link, one big thing that we haven't mentioned. And that's the idea that he has no utility. It's all on him, where he puts his crosshair, where he can find these frags. As he has no flashes, no smokes to support him, no way to give him an entry on towards this site.
Pulse here, hoping to do some more damage. Jenko will push into him, but he can't quite find the frag. Unfortunately, Jenko overpowers him, and they do get that round on the board. That's a 5th round now claimed for Radix. And this should be number 6 as well. Is that
pretty much the 6th, yeah.
Broken, yeah. They can't really fight back. I mean, that's kind of the story of the game so far. Every time they get something to play with, it instantly gets reset. They get left in an even more awkward situation. The thing is, the reset is the bit that hinders them the most. Nilzinho is going to invest, though. He uses that bit of cash he's been scraping through. It all rides on him. There is potential, but it's going to be so risky as well if they lose this.
Nilzinho going to hold so tightly with the AWP. He has to be very, very careful here, as you mentioned. You basically want to use these pistols as, like, flak pretty much for you, right? Like, it's so much more valuable for these pistols to fall than it is for the AWP to fall, because that's pretty much the one thing that can really add something to the round. Especially when he starts off like this, able to get that first pick on towards Keita. But I think that's the easy part of this, right? Getting a first frag as an AWP is always going to be relatively simple when you're in this sort of round, because the hard one is the pistols getting tested, the AWP actually being able to come into play off the back of those pistols, really find themselves in a very hot situation. It's going to be a struggle.
It will be. It just depends how easy it's going to be for Radix to try and bounce back, as they've already lost a player. I mean, Keita being removed quite early could be a detriment to them, as they are trying to hit that A-bomb site with everything they've got. A straight-up commit, it seems, early into the round. I mean, Nilzinho peeking out so close. Unfortunately, doesn't actually get the opening frag on the ball, but here's Fry to backstab. This could be massive. Headshot comes through with the B250. Huge dink as well there before he gets taken down.
A few more shots to come off Weber, going to be the man to deal out the damage. Just finally not able to sneak the final required in, though, in fact, as Pulse with the CZ begins to fire off just a few. Nilzinho with the AWP still chiming in, though, brings it full circle to a 1 versus 1, whips out the USB. He knows Mole is low, but Mole plays peekaboo with him, snaps back with the AK-47, breaks his neck, and Radix go further and further into this one, 6-2 now, as they are looking to take a decisive lead. Barely anything left on their side. They are sitting there with just lackluster pistols.
Broken. This is horrible for FM. They're in the worst case scenario. I mean, Radix as well. Look at that. They have the AWP over on Smooya that he was able to scavenge. This is so bad. As now Smooya can be very aggressive. He can just play the sort of CS that he is accustomed to, that he loves being involved in. And it's just going to be so very awkward now.
Molotov in towards Sandbag, both one towards Kara as well. It's just Radix clearing out these angles, a very secular approach, a very smart approach, as it means that these pistols can't get themselves netted into any tight corners, can't catch them off guard, which is by far the most important thing. As for now, they just have to sit so far back, so passively on these sites, that even with these crossfires, and Radix push in, it's just going to be a barrage of fire, Hail Mary practically all over them. Because there's going to be nothing they can really do.
Yeah, not going to be much contestant. They will push their way through, but the frag will go the way of Roma. Gets the opening kill there towards Fan. They're all trying to peek at the same time. Use these pistols to at least have some kind of overwhelming force to have an advantage against Radix, but it's not going down like that. They're all getting punished. They're all going to fall. Smooya as well. Wallbang headshot on Weber. Absolute filth.
Standard Smooya back at it again with some crazy orb action from him. There's Neo trying to go for one through the smoke, but at this point, just he needs to scarper through the hills, take that AK-47 into this 10th round as Radix. They want to dish back what FM just did to them in that previous map.
Yeah, they want at least something, some kind of lifeline to make things a little bit different, because right now it's far too awkward for them. I mean, if Nilzinho gets through with at least the 8K, it might be able to help them, but it's unlikely.
Starts to do a little bit more damage, gets himself that just one little pick on towards Jenko. Nothing really too impactful, but it's something at the end of the day for him to try and play with. As the scoreline sets itself in stone, 7-2. No going back now for FM. They need to show us something in this round. They have the EDP on towards Weber. They have all the rifles, they have the utility. Most importantly, I think on a map like Inferno, Molotov's really something that's going to be stressed. If they get those mollies down and use those frag grenades right, they can do so much damage in the choke points to Radix. But it doesn't really feel like they've taken advantage of those smokes, of all that utility they have. They've just kind of thrown it out as if it's just another standard map that you don't have these angles on. Use what you've got.
It's true. They've got a lot to play with as well, so it's very odd how the structure they've actually been bringing to the table. I mean, Weber with the opener, they're back on towards Keita. That is game-changing this early on. This really does affect things into the late round. Keita, quite vital for Radix in terms of actually slipping their way through into sites.
Still see a bit of presence just lingering over towards the bottom of Banana, that being Jenko, of course. Mole just creeping himself closer and closer towards him as well. Fry another frag on towards Smooya. Really pushes FM right into the spotlight as they shun away. Just 2 picks for them. Radix trying to work out how they can bring things back. Banana seems to be the pretty common agenda at this point. As Stanley is going to withdraw, just deciding to play passive. The CT support rolls on in. This is a good read from FM. They're adapting to the situation in front of them in a smart way.
It's true, they're doing whatever they can to at least adjust and deal with this push coming towards the B-bomb site. I mean, Jenko and co are still alive. There is still potential they can do damage here, but it's going to be highly unlikely. I mean, everyone is ready for this push to come through. The crossfire has been formed. Can they find the frags, though, as they will start to push their way in towards the bomb site now? The smokes do go down. Pulse will try and retaliate. Stanley already forced out position there because of the Molotov, but he just tries to stay as long as he can before he is forced to peek. Will find the opening frag on towards Roma. Pulse, a second as well, takes down Mole before Jenko will kill Stanley. All of a sudden, it is just Lenko left in a 1 versus 4.
He gets the bomb plant, though, which actually is really, really important for their economy, as he will always certainly fall in a 1 versus 4. There really was no doubt about it. But getting that bomb plant actually always is a bit of a saving grace for a T-side.
It gives them that extra bit of cash to work with. I mean, keeps them alive, keeps them in the flow of action. Yeah, at this point as well, FM have only just got themselves into more of a stable zone. The factor is they could get reset.
Bear in mind, it's the same sort of storyline for Radix as well. They didn't have too much money stacked up. A lot of these rounds, sure, they've been still rounds for Radix, but it has been damaging for them. They haven't been able to keep it really building up. You look at their score, actually, right now, $1,500 is the maximum that Smooya has, and everyone else pretty much fully invested 0, 150, 400. It's all pretty bleak. So for Radix, just an important round for them, a very much a double-edged sword. In terms of scenario, the flash is going to go out. Aerial in effect, but really that's about it. It looks fancy. Doesn't actually have any use at all.
It's true, just for style points. But Pulse is going to try and take his play down towards bottom Banana. Probably just hold. Stanley gets the opener as well. That's huge. Taking down Jenko that early on is an absolutely massive frag. Could really impact things.
Angles to be held and corpse to be lost in very weird engagements. Pulse just appearing out of nowhere. Picks up the AWP, in fact, as well. Just going for that double AWP if they so choose. Just kind of shuffling around a bit. Making sure it goes into the right player's arms. Then he can just pretty much hold Banana like this he wants. Gets on top of the off angle as well. It's something that Radix aren't going to be able to flick towards as easily. Which just means it's going to be tougher for them to make this resurgence happen now as they try and really push their way up through Banana.
Pulse is ready for it, though. The AWP is in place. Bunkered down, ready to act like a sentry gun as they try and slip their way through. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does actually do an awful lot of damage. I mean, they set themselves up, though. Going to go for the smoke walls. Blocked off quite a few lines of sight. That is going to divide quite a few things. Apart from Keita's, that's missed.
Didn't need that smoke anyway, of course. Not important.
Actually, both of the smokes have missed.
That's a bit awkward.
One smoke lands, I think, as a gap.
Nice. Great smokes, guys. Pulse going to take advantage of that with the EWP as he finds the frag on towards Mole. Things yet again find themselves in a difficult circumstance for this T-side. Stanley just embracing the flames. Roma will find the trade, however, but even then, he's in a 1v3 situation. A little bit more doable, especially with that smoke. Plays on the gap to make it a 1v2. Has to go for that bomb. There's 7 seconds left. He cannot get that plant. FM will get themselves the round to play with. Just another for them to try and really stretch this one out now. Look at their economy. You look at it in comparison to Radix. FM have control. They've grabbed Radix by the balls, and they're running into this one dead set into the future.
I still don't know what they were trying to do with those smokes at that point. How'd you mess that up so badly?
You don't need to throw smokes. It's all good. Smokes are so overrated.
That's unreal. But that round is going to slip away from them anyway. Radix at this point still Tech 9 to play with. More of just a burst-style CS probably going to come out from just a very fast round. I mean, last time we saw him hit Banana very quickly, and once again it appears like that is going to be the same sort of scenario. Not that surprising, but Pulse and Stanley going to do an awful lot of damage into the early round. Roma blowing out the server, and the rest of his teammates starting to fall off the back of these rifles. Weber with a kill on towards Jenko as well, and it's just Mole left.
This isn't really going the way... Oh, this is, sorry, going the way we expected it, though, if you think about it. You look at the score right now, Radix sitting on 7. FM starting to kind of fly in with a few here and there. That 8-7 is looking more and more likely.
For some reason, it's incredibly common as well. It's quite bewildering. English is quite hard. But yeah, it's quite crazy.
It's one of those things, though, because it only seems to happen in UK Counter-Strike, at least from what I've seen. I've been looking at other teams, like Tier 1 international teams and the like, who've been playing Inferno as well. It seems completely different on that scale. So it's certainly curious to see how the map's changed on a domestic level, as at least in this one it is going to be just down a dirty bloodbath, a 2-for-2 trade, as Nilzinho will pry back in with that double kill. A huge impact frag from him, but at the same time, at a 3-for-3 scenario, he's got more to do here.
It's true, they've got more to play with. Just depends what they can actually bring to the table. I mean, quite slow right now as they slowly make their approach towards mid. They are going to burst through on towards that A bomb site, hope to at least get an opening. Seems like they're going to go through quad. They have the smoke to play with. They do just make their slow approach. Clearing the angles right now. You can check it out. Second mid's clear. Cheers, Graham.
It's clear each and every little portion of the map now, looking to push out towards long and short at the same time, going together. Certainly needs to a bit more of a plentiful push. Got to be smart, of course. Fry is there on the headshot angle, looking to tap through, and this is crafty. I like this, but Fry is one step ahead, gets the pick, looks for the header Mole, and goddamn, he will find it. The smoke as well on towards balcony. Fry slam dunking on towards Roma. What more can this man achieve right now? Just doing so much for the CT side as Keita, well, a rifle in his back pocket, trying to go for the backstab. Has Weber in his crosshairs. Decides to just go for the simple frag. Now there's another player in towards Pit. It's going to be even more crucial as Fry's position has been given up. But Nilzinho holding mid like this right now, just from this angle, means that, well, it's pretty much clear cut. What? Keita, how do you hit that shot? Gets himself the headshot on towards Neil, and somehow makes one feel like it could happen. As with 10 seconds left, he is doing a slapdash dart right over towards his B side, but it looks like he really doesn't have enough time to squeeze this one through. Doesn't opt to even try. Instead, just holds that angle and sits ever so tightly, but makes it too damn close.
That's pretty awkward. Yeah, if you had an extra couple of seconds.
Literally a second.
Yeah.
1 second would have completely changed that round. He would have been able to get on that platform and get that plant.
Very much down to the wire at this point. It's absolutely insane how neck and neck this is. I mean, we see things now going through here as well. How's this one actually going to boil down as we keep this aggression going? They're going to try and take their play up towards top mid. They do slip through. Molotov does actually go down. Going to ignite all of Banana to at least ward the opposition back for a few moments here. But no one is actually going there. It's not going to be an early Banana hit like we've seen in the previous round. It is actually very early aggression up towards top mid. Group yourself up, then go for the late round burst straight through. They're going to take the arch hit, quad hit as well. Both sides actually being taken down very quickly. Fry has to respond. He's dazed and confused. They've like no idea what's going on. Struggling, but he will find one frag at the very least.
Radix starting to wake up, looking for that 8th round. Of course, the Stanley will face, takes the frag on towards Jenko. Pick by pick, they will go as they strive on forward. Smoothie refusing to give himself up, throws the flash, but walks right into Stanley, who finds himself that pick. And the end of things, Mole will secure that trade, however, to bring us full circle. And a 1 versus 1 predicament. Mole picking up that bomb has a lot more time to work with. 55 seconds. Pulse is thinking. He's trying to wrap his head around what exactly Mole is going to go for here. And they both seem to have the same idea.
Oh, they're going to war over each other. Pulse spots him out. Pulse unfortunately gets taken down. Radix getting ever closer. Every round is just so close right now.
Literally, it's tooth and nail. Both these teams refusing to allow one another to try and get ahead. FM just really dragging it out as well. As they look for their 7th. They look to go for the UK Counter-Strike standard trademark Inferno performance. They've got the UMPs, they've got the pistols, they've got the rifle on fry. It's possible.
Good just to see just how it actually does unfold, though, as this push is going to be coming through. They're trying to take their hit now over towards the safe site. Smooya will be the one actually leading the charge as he walks his way down. You've got Weber ready to respond as well over towards Arch.
Frag grenade to come out from Nilzinho. Doing a bit more damage, just really just trying to scrape away at this D side. They want as much value from whatever they can at this point. This Nils is going to be there just to almost tether around the edge, just tries to withdraw back towards the site. He hears a lot of these steps. That means so much information from this FM side to really adapt to. Another frag grenade to go out, even more damage to be done. Smooya just really getting chipped away at now 55 HP. If Weber throws this flash, that'd be better, but then he just does that and he misses it, and that completely changes things. They go 1 for 1, but that could have been a nice, just almost caught by surprise. Fry is going to get the backstab in, but there's only so much he can do there. Leaving us where we find ourselves now. 2 for 2, 40 seconds on the clock. 2 UMPs, 2 AK-47s.
It's kind of snap right now as we push their way back through. Stanley will flashbang over them. The smoke is there dividing him, so he can't just strip his way through just yet. Keita is ready for him to try and take the fight towards him. Mole as well, watching the same angle right now. Flashbang goes over to see if anyone has peeked. He does actually spot out Stanley. This makes their lives a little bit easier as he is aware of what they're actually getting up to. He can try and ward them off. Smoke goes down as well, though, as Pit has been completely blocked off. Stanley, though, in the elevated angle, unfortunately can't do too much. He's going to be executed. Weber fights back. Finds one. Weber with a second as well, meaning Weber can just in the nick of time grab this thing. Actually, might not have it. Seems like it's too far gone.
Scrap that. There is no chance at all that he gets that. He needed a kill.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. Radix pushing it further forward.
Unfortunate.
Getting the edge on their T side is a really interesting point there, and it does just kind of hark back to that thing that we brought up in terms of previous stats in the UK community, and then how it was always that T side in the second half that closed it out. So we kind of are all eyes towards FM now, going, all right, it's 6-9, that's not all that big of a difference. You get pistol, you basically negate it, and you go head for head. The ball's in your court. Show us what you're made of now with these pistols. You have a chance here. We've opted for a very utility-based pistol round too, bear in mind. Nilzinho, Stanley, and Weber all opting to spend money on either weaponry in terms of the Tech 9 or smokes and flashes.
Yeah, quite a heavy investment coming out from FM. They are by no means skimping into this round. They're really giving it their all. Aggression towards that B-bomb site, though, is going to be the key. It seems, unfortunately, there is 3 players there. Usually you see that 3-2 setup with the 2 players towards B. This time it's the actual flip side of that. They should just all suck in and just peek at the same time when they come from the site. I mean, that would be the best case scenario at this point.
Think about it as well. This is not something that FM would expect, but it's also something when you're on a CT side, you go, you know, what's the most common thing you'd want to pistol around? You push out towards B. That smoke, though, is actually kind of good. It really makes sure that Keita has to tap through a smoke, and actually look at what this is. This is just a wraparound right now. Fry is going to be there with a Glock Stanley as well with the Tech 9, but they're trying to bait them out. They go back through a smoke, wrapping towards construction. But Keita Aroma! Oh my god, Keita, how are you getting away with this? More and more he will go. Smooya will end this one. Radix out of nowhere. They get the pistol round.
That's quite scary. This means they're actually going to get themselves 12 rounds on the board. I mean, they're going to work their way through very quickly. I just don't know what they can do at this point. FM, unless they respond right now, Radix will actually be getting themselves so close to closing it down.
That trophy. It's what they want right now. It's what they were here to play for. It's where all the emotions come from. The whole idea, playing Masters, is to get that trophy at the end. Getting yourself that £4,500. So much to achieve. 10-6, Radix want to be the team in the lead. That's a given. That's stating the obvious. FM, with just these pistols, going to have to try and take these fights. Very close range yet again, but they want also a bit of sporadicness. They want to try and catch Radix off guard. Problem is, I'm looking at the map right now and going, you know what? They seem very well positioned for a quick pistol push. They've got the range with the SMGs just enough to be able to still do damage, but at the same time, to make sure that they can mitigate any drive-by Tech 9s.
Yeah, enough of a switch up to actually try and slow them down, but not too much to actually come back to hinder them. I mean, Pulse at this point is just going to be bobbing and weaving as he tanks this fight round. Smooya has the angle covered though, so there should be an execution going the way of Radix very early on. Smooya actually falls back in the nick of time, very awkward. He's been able to get out of there.
Pulse goes to the shot with a deagle, but it doesn't quite come through. Instead, it's just another missed shot. An opportunity to be forgotten. I think this B site is a much better choice for them. If they can isolate Jenko and make sure that they don't really allow too much spray damage as well to come in, just pepper its way in from Mole, then it could be pretty good. But right now, they're not doing any of that at all. Just free roam right now for Jenko, just able to achieve so much with this UMP that even with some picks, it's still 3 for 2. It's still Smooya coming in from construction with the Famous. It's Pulse there with the Deagle trying to make the final wishes happen. What on earth is he supposed to do here? Nothing at all. Smooya with the headshot. Radix, they push further into the future. 11 to 6 we will go. Radix biting at the heels of their opposition. They want that trophy. FM weren't able to show anything for it. This pretty much big buy is the only thing they have left.
This is the thing. Working their way through this round as well. Nothing to play with. Buy comes out into the following round. Even then, you've given the opposition 12 rounds. If you let that slip as well, that's 14th round on the board already at that point for Radix, because their money gets reset again off the back of that. They're just left in such an awkward spot right now, an economic peril really. I mean, it's a little bit more manageable on that T side, so it won't be as detrimental. They'll still be able to squeeze out a bit of a buy, but by no means are we going to see healthy buys across the board.
A few shots here and there to come in. The Glock overwhelming Smooya in that fight. Right, looking for just a little bit more. As Radix still just, I think they have to keep it clean as well. This is what they need right now in terms of kind of the pitch perfect performance. Keep it clean. Make sure you don't lose any of these rifles or anything to, well, too pointless of a reason. Sure, you could look at Fry, but that's just one. Bigger picture, second and third, that's where it really starts to mean something. FM though, it's going to cluster up in towards mid. Going as a group of 4, and all in. But Mole, he's brave with an MP7, and they don't check their quarters. Textbook mistakes. Weber going for the stabby stabby, but it won't quite happen. Radix, just another on the board for them. Simple executions. If they double up, 12 to 6. This is that buy. No warp. Just these rifles. Limited utility too.
And this has to be the one really. They have to try and lock it down here, because the thing is, obviously, Radix, if they are able to pick this one up, could probably work a way for it to get that 14th round on the board as well. And at that point, you're clutching at straws to think you can actually try and, claw it back. It's going to be a very, very big struggle if it gets that far. Lots of early commit with the nade usage here over towards Banana coming out from Radix there. They're going to throw so much down to ward off an actual push coming through, but there isn't going to be one. FM are trying to play it fairly slow. They're playing more of just a slow slit into default. They're just waiting for you to push it to them. You to make the first mistake.
Couple of flashes, smoke here and there. Pulse looking for a few shots through the smoke. Wraps back around, but push towards Banana is certainly something to keep your eyes drawn towards. They have to be careful not to overextend, but at the same time, the angles they're holding tightly do benefit them. Keita, of course, is waiting for any sort of flank. Smooya does start off strong on the right foot as well, taking down Pulse. So we just try and jam in a little bit more into that. That's right. Flames at his feet. Well, things aren't looking to get too hot just yet, as he's just an inch away from things, able to survive by just a tiny amount. Meaning that he is not forced out of position, and potentially another pick about to come Keita's way.
Could be crazy as well. If they get another frag on the wall this early into the round, it might be wild. I mean, there's still 35 seconds left to play with, and they need to react soon. They're going to burst their way up now towards the bomb site, just trying to take the fight through. Smokes go over. They need to hit it hard, though. They have to find a crack in the armor of Radix, as they will start to make their ascent through. Mole, he's in actually quite a cheeky position to do some damage here if they don't clear this, as they are trying to make their way up round Arch. Through quad Zorias, Mole will chime in, gets 1 and 2, doubles it up, hungry for more as he tries to rattle on the trigger, but Weber will actually fire back, keeps them alive, provides them some kind of lifeline, but they need to grab the bomb now! He can't quite find it. Luckily, he will be able to get it back on the site within the nick of time. That was very scary.
Yeah, but it buys also just enough time for Jenko to get the information there's a player on site. And that Fry's playing in towards Pit. That gives them a 1 versus 1 as another smoke is bad. Leaving Weber all alone, isolated on a lonely island. As the push begins, Jenko refusing to reel his head. FM struggling with the simple stuff at this point. Smokes and flashes, something a drill team like FM should be able to do every single day of the week.
That is so detrimental. I mean, we touched on this as well, but the thing is, the amount of damage it does to their economy leaves them broken in terms of nades. They don't have much utility to work with. They can invest around it, but as you can see, it's one smoke. And two smokes now, but that means Nilsinho couldn't go for the rifle. That's the only reason they got that secondary smoke out. He's had to go for the Tech 9 bite, which is very, very awkward into this round. Once again, slow split and pick though. They're not going to speed up, not going to trash play shock and all. They're going to have to try and play it slow and quite timid. I don't really know. It's all starting to slip away, Flakes.
It's all starting to go wrong at this point. Smooya, Keita, both players stepping up to the plate right now. Weber trying to see if he can appear a player who really has held such a positive rating throughout this series. He's plus 14 right now. But where does that lead? What merit does that have? Smooya just matching him, frag for frag almost. As they inch closer and closer to taking this victory, taking this season's championship. As crossfires will be held, the sights will be taken, and Banana is all but controlled. FM have no ground to toy with here. They have to retake everything from the ground up, and with Smooya holding this with AWP, it just gets worse and worse by the second.
That's absolute filth as he finds that frag back there on towards Nilsinho. I mean, Weber as well. Headshot comes from towards Mole. Makes it a little bit more manageable, but at this point as well, you just got to imagine it's already too far gone.
Jenko flows off the reverse flash, backs off over towards this B site. Smooya still holding on towards his angles with the 5-7. Now the confidence kicks in. He realizes he's just touching distance from getting this round, getting himself closer and closer as the AWP starts to rally away. The first shot will be missed, but the second almost certainly goes for the collateral. So close, but it doesn't quite fall through. But Roma and Pitt will shut this one down. Keita stealing that one away from him as it will be 14-6. Radix 2 rounds away now from getting themselves on that stage. As all they need is just a few more picks, a few more decisive rounds. FM have nothing left. Their economy is so stripped bare. They're going all in with the UMPs, with the Tech 9s, the rifles. It's going to be rough, but they have to at this point.
Yeah, they need to try and do something, because if they don't, it's going to be game over. They will buy up, invest around this, try and do some damage. I mean, you've got the 2 UMPs out. Maybe we can see a little bit of pizzazz coming out from Nilsinho on the AK, but it's just so highly unlikely at this point, as literally Radix have just been tearing their way through them. They take the arch burst though, they're just going to try and tear their way through. Smooya comes in with the opening frag once again as he dispatches Stanley. Fry is also going to fall. I hate to say it, Flakes, but it seems like it's already over.
Yeah, it seems like things are well and truly in place at this point. Radix just trying to really make sure it goes just the way they expect it to be. As Smooya yet again going to be holding the angles. The flank will come in from behind, which is going to prompt a bit of movement from this T side as they want to head back on over towards Banana, but that's predictable. Yeah. That's simple CS, something Radix are well and truly ahead of right now as they sit themselves in the curve. Weber going to drop down just another flash, but it's not going to blind them all. Smooya, he hits those. Of course he hits those. As another shot on towards Weber. More to be achieved. A 4-for-2 scenario. FM, how on earth do you make this work?
It'll be so hard. You have to do things like that. Nilsinho reigns supreme as he gets the headshot back on towards Roma. Tries to do a little bit of damage. Mole is struggling as he just goes for these pre-fires, hoping they'll at least peek into him and give him more of a lifeline to work with. But the rest of his teammates now going in for the backstab. It could be huge. They do have the manpower advantage.
Angles to be held. A flash to go, completely forcing Nilsinho away from holding that library angle. There's a Molotov to go down. Pulse will find that first headshot on towards Mole, but the push begins. Jenko going to hold tight, finds himself the first. Can't quite pull through as he gets the second. Nilsinho whiffing a huge spray. And this just puts Radix pretty much on series point. Scrap that. Championship point. As all they need now is just this final round required. FM are looking down in the dirt. They go for the AWP, the rifles, of course. It is going to be that full buy. They have a lot of utility to play with. But does that even matter anymore? They haven't been able to show anything with it, even when they have the opportunity to play close competitive CS. They just fall to pieces.
It's all drained away from them. So sad. I mean, FM right now came in here as the team we expected to see walking away with the championship spot, but it seems like all of a sudden it has gone away from them. Pulse will come in with that opening frag, does take down Smooya. This is a good start, but they need to try and keep it going. Stanley actually does one better as he finds the frag on towards Roma. Possibly they can keep this going through.
Mole with the rifle, trying to pin down the site. Can't get caught with a smoke in hand. Instead, waits for the push, gets himself a pick, peeks out, looks for a second. Fright is going to eat his head right off. But angles are being covered. It's team play right now, trades. But FM, they eke out Weber as well with a rifle in the chest of Keita. Keeps the stream alive.
Damage done to the economy as well of Radix, but I mean, they can buy up around this. Smoothie had so much cash. If they want to go for something a little bit foolish, they could definitely reinvest into this and get the full buyout. Seems like they will, actually.
Why not?
Yeah, it's actually fairly sensible. I expected to see them invest a lot more into that, purely because, you know, they're kind of the team that when they get into that position, they do want to lock it down rather than realizing they have so much of a buffer.
Is this the voice of reason kicking in, though? Is this Mole saying, boys, come on, we're at 15-7, let's not screw this up. Let's just take this. So close, Smooya with the Deagle, takes one back in return. It's going to be a nice little trade, well kept together. Pulse going to be searching with the AWP. Stanley solo, 13 HP. Radix can still do this, bear in mind. Roma just another with the 5-7 on towards Nilzinho. I tell you what, if Radix take this right now, that's an embarrassing way for FM to lose. As they struggle day and night to make this one work. 3 left on their side. Stanley still ever so low. Jenko holding tight with this angle. This one right here, Coffin. A single shot from a Deagle. 9 out of 10, it will get itself a pick.
Not like this. As this play comes in down towards this B-bomb site now. FM, they have the advantage in terms of the economy. Let's see if they can try and do something with the weapons they have. They are going to force Jenko out of position. He is just waiting for the push to come through. Smoothie there, obviously, with the Deagle as well. Both of these players so deadly with these hand cannons. Let's see if they can find the factory. Pulse will take the first one. Smoothie peeks out, struggling to connect the shots. Unfortunately, he is going to fall as well. And it seems like FM have been able to cement themselves in a good situation to lock down this round.
This is good. Weber and Stanley still solo. Pulse, though, with the AWP, should be able to pin down Banana, make sure they can't quite be pushed. Stanley as well, similar to the storyline. The push comes in, Mole will go 1 for 1. The Deagle now of Mole has to do it all. There's the AWP shot, though, right in the back of his shoulder. FM, 8-15, it continues.
Keeps on going right now. Either of these times trying to fight their way through, but the scary factor is they did so much damage, leaving them with 2 players on the side of FM off the back of an eco round.
Yep.
Now Radix have a 4-buy. Smoothie is on the AWP.
It's just like, if they can do that with the Eagles, if they can get it that close with the Eagles, what are FM going to do when they're up against rifles and AWPs? Smoothie has been on fire in this map yet again, but it's not just him. We've seen incredible performances come out from Jenko, Keita, Roma. This entire lineup has been popping off as they want to wake up for a final time. It's that same fateful saying, 1 round required. Can they do it?
To save here, because the thing is, they still have enough of a buffer. They know at most this is FM now getting the 9th round on the board. They still need 6 to get back to an even scoreline. So you can just afford to let it slip. There is no point you overinvest in throwing all that economy away, because they're not going to have the best economy, I believe, going into the following round anyway. So it could be kind of awkward.
I mean, you take a look and current situation for them, just so much investment really. It's kind of $2,350, a couple $100 amongst every other player. It really is going to be rough for them. So saving these rifles is always going to be such a pertinent point, and it's just being flat out denied for them. A door slammed shut right in their faces as Mole, he's going to fall as well. They save absolutely nothing. As we chain rounds together for FM right now, they are making it happen. 9-15, it's still a long way off, but you got to start somewhere.
It's true, they're on the climb back. I mean, this is going to be 10-15. Radix have nothing to play with. Sure, they did damage on their previous eco, but even then they had a lot of upgraded pistols. Now they have nothing.
Like Kevlar too, which is probably the most important part about those pistols, just really being able to tie in with that fight. Get themselves down in the brawl. So it is going to be a similar one in mid this time around, but it's not going to be a close and effective one. It should be very, very one-sided. Smoothie gets a lot of information. Tries to drop Pulse with the AWP, but Pulse takes him down. A nice little flick from him. Crafty frack, but an important one.
Weber waiting here for the push to come through as he will just be holding his ground. Peeking over the top there, just going for these pre-fire taps. Meanwhile, Fryer will show him how it is done. Connects the headshot back on towards Roma. Then they are going to link up. Take the hit towards the A-bomb site, which they should. It's the welcome mat. Weber could do so much damage as they're all flooding towards him. Him and Pulse just starting to tear them a new one. He will actually fall in the end, though. Mole finds that frag.
A little bit more to be done. Radix will continue to try and really just inflict pain and judgment on towards FM. They don't want them to get confident. I think that's the one thing that Radix really wanted to deprive FF from, which is kind of that confidence to think that they are in control, they're on the comeback. You know, that whole situation where you've played a game before where you're trying to bring it back. Everyone's starting to get pumped. Everyone's like, we got this, boys. Come on, we're actually doing this. We're doing this. When that comes into play, it really just adds fuel to the fire for FM. If Radix can deny that and make them feel like every single round they have to work so hard for, then it makes things easier for them to shut it out and get the final pick required.
It's true. I mean, at this point as well, they're always one round away. And at the very least, they've always got the overtime safety net. So if for some reason it does start to slip away from them and they actually do get overtaken, they can always try to take it towards OT. Mole unfortunately does fall at the end, so won't save the AK-47. But it doesn't matter. Now this is where the cash comes back into effect. This is where they need to get the buyout. Jenko can buy the AWP up for Smooya as well, drop that over. Smooya actually is going to invest in his own. He doesn't really mind. He's going to... Yeah, he still gets a little bit of utility out. They could have got more utility, I think, if Jenko would have bought it from, because obviously he's still got 1.6k in the bank, so... Maybe a bit of a rash judgment call there, but I guess it doesn't matter.
I feel like having Smooya just focus on picks at this point, though, might not necessarily be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Sure, it's not, you know, the usual thing to say in Counter-Strike, but I feel like right now when you got a player like Smooya just doing so much for this team, let him be that man, the madman at that, to really just go and force their hand, find them in very awkward scenarios and catch them right off guard. Is Stanley already walking on forward Roma? Going to find himself headshot. Second as well, going to go on through. Looking fairly simple. Smooya with a pistol, though, apparently will get himself a win. Fry just 1 HP. Weber just 61 as Smooya taps on a wave, finds just another. He's now set himself alive in pit. The bomb has been dropped. So much time, though, for FM to play with. But the AWP pins this angle down. They have to get out towards A. This should force full rotates coming in from Radix now. Flash as well coming out towards short. Time. Just going to tick, tick, tick. Radix more than happy to spend it.
They know they're the ones in the driving seat right now. They're the ones that can just sit back, wait for the push to come towards them. They know they can overpower FM at any given moment. I mean, Smooya, 2 frags on the board already right now. Would be surprised if he tries to get some more just for the star points when they try and push their way through. He wants to close this out so badly. Nilzinho as well, attempting to recover the bomb. It's down in such an awkward location. They have to open themselves up massively to attempt to grab it.
Nilzinho ready to play out towards balcony. Flash is going to go off Smooya. Position pretty much all but given up. With Weber up on top of quad. Looking for even more pulse with the AWP going very close and personal. Treating it like a shotgun yet again. The time won't repeat itself. They're not playing on site. They're playing anything far away from it, in fact, as Mole will get himself the first frag required with a rifle. Weber still checking these corners. Will try and take down Mole, but it's not happening. Keita with just another. Still can't take him down. Mole with the USB. There you have it, folks. Radix will be your UK Masters Spring 2017 champions as they will take this series 3 for 2. A great performance from them. Smooya stepping up in a huge way, 26-18.
Absolutely insane there towards the end. Clutch round to close it out. They have no time to react. The bomb was down. It just slips away from them off the back of those amazing frags on display. Smooya had a very impactful series there as well, if we look at that thing.
65-51.
Yeah.